Hey, this is Eric Wood, and welcome to Gas on Bike Up. I have with me today Josh Herrin, who is our current Moto America Supersport champion. He's riding for the Warhorse Ducati team. Let's see what he's got to say about this upcoming Daytona 200. All right, Josh. Same team last year that you had. Championship-winning bike. Talk to me quick about how qualifying went and how things are going today.
Yeah, qualifying went good. We had qualifying 1 on Thursday, qualifying 2 today, and then time attack. So Q1, I think we got pole. Q2, we had kind of some problems with electrical stuff, so we were down. I've never had that happen before, but we were down like 10, 20 horsepower, which was, or whatever. It ended up being about 20 mile an hour. We were 5 seconds off the pace, so Q2 was kind of a wash. But luckily, from the time yesterday, we got into time attack, and it ended up being more like a World Superbike Super Pole race than a qualifying session. It was basically a race out there for the first 5 laps of our tires, and then when I came in, split off to get a new tire, it ended up feeling like a qualifying session after that. But it was pretty hectic. A lot of oil dried down in turn 1, so it was something new for all of us to go through it, but not only just go through it, but also have a pack of guys going through it at the same time and throwing up dirt like we were in a flat track race. So it was pretty nuts. Been having a lot of fun. We just finished the pit stop challenge, which was a lot of fun. We had the fastest time, but we had the tool, the socket gets stuck to the axle nut, so
Can't ride off with that in there.
our time got DQ'd. I guess one of the guys tried hiding it in his pocket, but they saw him hide it. So it's been a good weekend. Last year we got pole and then won the time attack or the pit stop challenge. So to have a little bit of bad luck in qualifying, get the pole, and then have a little bit of bad luck in the pit stop practice, I'm happy because maybe that's a good sign for the race, and we'll have some good luck there.
I mean, so the rest of the season, you're going to be focusing on your V4 Superbike, right?
Yep.
Which is a totally new challenge for you. Should be a lot of fun. I can tell you're really excited to do that. So Daytona is just kind of a one-off deal for this V2. What is it about this racetrack and this race, I mean, that makes it special? I mean, what does Daytona mean to you, man?
Yeah, for me, it's weird because the first time I came here, as a racer, it's like, at least for me, if I don't do good at a track, I don't like it. If I do good at it the next year, it's one of my favorite tracks all of a sudden, right?
Fair.
Daytona sucked for me as a kid, and then one year it just kind of clicked. I had a lot of good teammates, gave me a lot of good, information. Mm-hmm. Teammates at Bostrom, DeSalvo, the other Bostrom brother. So it's a lot of information throughout the years to help me out. Teammates with Hayes. So to me, ever since like 08, I had a good race with Ben Bostrom. It just kind of clicked from there. Mm-hmm. And when I started doing the 200 in 09, I got second behind Ben Bostrom, then won in 2010. And it's just always been special to me just since then. I mean, it happened when I was young, which at the time I was the youngest to ever win the race on asphalt. Before that, it was a guy in the sand. So it had a special spot because it was like this record. And since then, it's really just become fun to come here because of the banking. I mean, it's something that you don't get to do at another track. And when you tell people that you race at Daytona, they just know. It doesn't matter if they're a motorcycle fan or a racing fan. They know what Daytona is. So being able to say that we race here is just cool to me, and I like being able to tell people about it. So especially on a super bike, if you ride a regular bike here, a super sport bike, it's thrilling. You get close to the wall, but when you're doing 205 miles an hour, less than 2 feet away from the wall, it's something different about it that just you never forget, and you get chills every time you get back.
I mean, Daytona for me was interesting. I mean, I've had both some of the very best and very worst weekends in my career here. It's my most memorable stuff and the ones that I most want to forget. If you were going to describe Daytona, right, and to someone who'd never been here before, right, and a track day rider was going to say, hey, I'm going to come here and do a track day. Josh, what's your advice if I'm going to go ride Daytona? Like, what are the first things you're going to tell them?
You better be ready.
But what are we ready for? What are the things they really got to pay attention to?
To do it right, you got to, in my opinion, do it right, you got to ride up on the wall. So it's like, what comes to mind for me is watching like Cool Runnings, the movie Cool Runnings. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
And the guys, Jamaican bobsled team, and the first time they see what bobsledding's all about, they're shitting themselves, like seeing all the crashes. And I've seen some crazy crashes here. I've seen Eslick tuck the front coming down the oval. I've been involved in a big crash that, it was one of those days that I want to forget it. I didn't go down, but, it was a lot of movement and bad stuff happened that I wish that I wasn't here for that one. And it's just one of those things. You got to be comfortable with, like I said, riding, literally, if you want to be at race pace, riding within 5 feet of a wall at top speed on your motorcycle. And we're not talking, what you think your top speed is on your motorcycle. We're talking wringing its neck and And then you come in over slick paint and go down into infield section. And usually at Daytona, you got a softer compound on one side than the other. So you got a bike that acts totally different from one side to the other. And there's a lot of stuff going on. So it's just, yeah, you have your big boy panties on and be ready for a ride.
So you've ridden a bunch of different bikes here, right? Everything from some regular 4-cylinder super bikes to some super sport bikes to now your V2. Compared to other bikes in the field, right?
Yeah.
Where's the V2 strong, and where do you feel like you struggle a little bit?
It's weird. I mean, top speed, if you look at numbers, it's fair. Like, it looks like it's got the same top speed as other bikes.
Yep.
The part that it struggles a little bit seems to be the mid-range. I can drive out of the corner pretty good, but seems like some of the bikes are stronger mid-range, and then once it gets its legs going, it catches back up and it evens itself out. Mm-hmm. But as a racer, you see the gap, and even though you're going to be able to get it back, it's hard to tell yourself mentally that, hey, it's going to come back, don't stress about it. But it's got a ton of torque, obviously. Then for me, my favorite thing about the V2 is the room that I have on it. It feels like very racy. I'm in a good cockpit.
Yeah.
To me, being comfortable on the motorcycle, your seating position is the most important. Then it's brakes, and then it's tires. And so for me, I'm comfortable on the bike. It's a lot of fun, and nobody can say it doesn't wheelie good. It's a good wheeler, so it's one of my favorites for sure. And being at Daytona's a pit stop race, we got 2 pit stops here. Single-sided swing arm, that's a huge thing for Daytona, which a lot of people, I don't know, they didn't think about before, or it's just maybe something that I'm new to, so I'm thinking about it now. But it's crazy how much quicker the pit stop is, and not so much just quicker, but easier and more mistake-free than a lot of the other bikes. So
I mean, that helps. I mean, I've heard it said many times, this race is won and lost in the pits.
Oh, of course, yeah. And we just did the pit stop race, and I think we were tied for time with another team, but the thing is that our team does it the exact same every time. So I think even with them backing off a little bit, we'll still be good, and it'll be a lot of pressure off of me because at least I know I'm not, one of the slower end guys. We for sure have the fast pit stop. So,
I mean, so knowing you, I know you think you're going to win. I know you want to win. Big field, a lot of really talented guys.
Yep.
Who would you say is one of your biggest competitors? Who are the guys you're most concerned with out there? That to say, I got to make sure I beat this guy and that guy if I'm going to get this done. Who are the big guys?
I mean, obviously, I think there's 3 of us that have won the race before, and I've only won it once. You got Posh, who's won it twice already. You got Eslick, who's won it 4 or 5 times, I think.
He's going for number 4, I think. Yeah.
So immediately, those are the guys that I think about. It's guys that have actually won the thing. They know what to do. They know what the very last lap dice is about, which is a lot of guys, it's they'll never get it because they just can't get themselves into that right mindset. The adrenaline's going too much, and they can't focus on that last lap. So that's the biggest thing is just being able to focus and really kind of slow everything down and know what you need to do and the timing of it and really plan it out in all the practices and all the 60 whatever laps leading up to the last lap. So for me, it's those 2 guys. I mean, they're both on the same team, so they'll be able to work together. Where for me, Xavi Flores is my teammate. It's a new track for him. He'll be good for the rest of the year. I'm sure he'll do good in the race, but Daytona is such a special thing that I don't know if he'll be there at the end. But yeah, those are the 2 guys I'm worried about the most, I think. And
who's the last guy you'd want behind you coming out of the chicane on the last lap?
Man, last guy I'd want behind me. My goal is to not be leading on the last lap.
I know,
so,
yeah, but who's
me and Eslick have done the duel before where we literally go 5 seconds a lap. The last lap's 5 seconds slower than any other lap because we know we got a gap, and we're just looking at each other like, hey, I'm not leading. That's happened a couple times with me and him. So I would say Eslick. I mean, that guy knows his shit, and he's had good trap speeds. But obviously, the guys with the best trap speeds are going to be the ones you're worried about the most. But my goal is to not be in front going into the chicane. So that's your best chance of winning. Or you just pin it and you just kind of hope that they were thinking you're going to roll off and you kind of trick them out. So I'd say Eslick. I mean, he's got the most experience.
Awesome.
And,
All right. Well, listen, you're a hardworking guy, family guy, trying to make a living doing this. If people who are watching this video, you want to help you out or reach out or at least see you on social media, how are we going to find you?
Hey, pretty much just search my name on any platform, just Josh Herrin. Yeah, it's the easiest way. I mean, it's so easy to find anybody nowadays. Luckily, I got the blue check mark, so you know it's me. Yeah, I appreciate all the support, and hopefully we got a good one.
All right, man. Well, very best of luck tomorrow, and we'll all be rooting for you.
Thanks.